live. I am streaming and recording this.
Okay, I shall try not to swear.
Oh, no, swear, you're fine. I'm not
All
worried
right,
about
okay.
Yeah, just don't be like, here's my taxpayer ID number, and...
Because I'm gonna tell you though. I think that's information that you guys should know.
Yeah, I need that.
Clearly
don't I?
we need that, yes.
Okay.
I totally need that.
So when you say your Skybase, you mean the one that's through the portal?
Yeah, the platform we built the other day.
Okay.
And I moved it back so it's more directly above the portal than it was, so we want to
Oh, you actually figured out how to make it go in the other direction then?
Yeah, I set up a second engine that goes the other way. So really, I'm just going to need 2 more of these engines, and then I'm going to need a complicated system to activate them all, and I'm going to have to rearrange the whole thing like 12 times. I've started looking at it. Well, one of the things in here, though, is these frame motors have a maximum of 1,000 blocks that they can move. And so I've
really?
actually got to... Yeah, and so I'm going to have to start keeping track of how many blocks I use. And I'm not sure if the panels count as blocks or not. There's all sorts of math that's going to be involved in creating
Oh,
the
no, math no
best
good.
optimal Skybase. Because I don't want it to be one of those things where I put down a chest and all of a sudden the thing stops working. I'm going to need some wiggle room. Hey, Cleo.
Hey,
There she is.
as if by magic.
As
So-
if by magic.
Cleo, we had discussed making some sort of on-the-server sport of racing these frames somehow.
Right,
And
yes.
we started talking about it a little bit in Skype, but I figured it'd be better if we could record ourselves talking about it so the viewers could enjoy the actual brainstorming process. I'm not recording. Oh my
I am.
goodness. Okay, hold on. I gotta...
Okay, Mango's people,
I'm
ignore
really glad I
everything
looked at-
Joe said.
I'm really glad I looked up at the little indicator there. I was just like, why are the... Yeah, what's my frame rate on the recording? 0. There is no frame rate. That's weird. There should be a frame rate if I'm recording. Oh, I'm not. Welcome. Okay. So, I'm just gonna real quickly. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hill's recording. I can't do it. I'm laughing. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hill's here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and today I'm joined by Zombie Cleo and Opaque Mango, and we're on top of my Skybase. We had talked in a recent video about doing a Skybase race, a Sky Race, Adventure Captain race, on a Skybase Adventure Captain video, and so we started talking about it in Skype, and it was fun talking about it in Skype, but I realized it was so much fun talking about it in Skype, we should talk about it in front of you guys, right here, right now, on camera. So here this is, Zombie Cleo, Opaque Mango, Joe Hill's Brainstorm Adventure Session. Go!
Breathe!
That was amazing.
That was pretty awesome,
I
actually.
give you a round of applause for that, because that was just incredible. Wow. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
glad that I can pass the baton to you guys, who will set it on the ground and applaud at it, rather than carrying it forward.
Yes.
Right,
I like
okay,
that.
since we've got a short amount of time. Okay, so we've got this whole idea about using these engines to make a boat race. But the question is, how are we going to do it? I mean, we talked about making, like, little buoys in the skies. And I was thinking we could have, like, a race around the spawns. Yeah, the spawn stuff. And we could actually just use it as a sort of tour to go around everybody's bases and stuff and say, I'm now currently very slowly making my way over Mango's place. You can tell this because of this reason. I think that's probably useful.
I think that Cleo has something there. I like using these to show off the stuff on the server that we have already built. And the first time we do this, we don't want the course to be too big because we might screw it up. Now, I think the closest analog to this in real life is sailboat racing.
Yeah, I would say.
Because you have like kind of a big open area, but you do have some obstacles or buoys. One thing I was thinking about doing was the sides of these frames will grab blocks if they don't have if they don't have covers on them.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we could rig it so there's a tower on top of maybe 4 or 5 different places at spawn, like different people's plots or on top of the wizard tower or whatnot. And there would be special blocks that each team would have to grab using their raft.
That would be good.
And so you can plot your own course
That would be cool.
trying to get there.
That's going to
now-
require... Is it all going to be on one level, or are we going to have like millions of
I don't
these
know that
edges
you
on the boats.
Well,
I don't know that you could do like the up and down. I think we'd
you
have
could
to
do up
the
and down
same
with
level.
these. No, you can do up and down with these. And honestly, I think that's part of the fun, is that if let's say that we have those blocks. Let's say that the marker blocks are colored wool that you're supposed to be grabbing, and of course I have nothing remotely colorful on me. But okay, so I'm just gonna use. I'm gonna say that. Let's say that on top of the wizard tower there are 4 logs, right? But they are separated by 10 blocks here or so of cobble that is worthless, right? So the thing is that people have to align their platform with one of the logs to pick it up with their cover thing,
Okay.
or with their frame. And the thing is that the first person to get to one of them can just grab the most convenient one, but then somebody else might have to go up or down to get the next one.
So the question is, are we going to do this in pairs? Because this seems like definitely a team game.
I was thinking maybe even 3s or 4s, which maybe it would just be 2 teams of 3 might be the.
I think a 2 teams of 3 might be a good idea. I already have an idea for an arm. You can extend it out, grab it without having to take the thing all the way there, bring it back.
And that was part of it too. I was actually thinking that we would have a 30-minute construction period, so essentially, when we do the video, we would set aside 2 hours or whatever. Everybody's there for 2 hours, and the first half hour is essentially I build a massive garage at spawn with dividers, so we can't see what.
So we're playing basically scrap heap challenge is what we're doing.
Yeah, so we play scrap heap challenge. We have to build one of these on the fly. And then we have to build one. We have to build these in the sky garage or whatever. And then we take them out and we try and race around. And now the race, especially if we do the races just around spawn, these things don't move too fast. But it'd be one of those things where we could have some interesting stuff to it, especially if the buoys had, the different blocks that you had to retrieve, or the I don't know what we would call them, the target towers.
You could technically make this a race for the wool.
Yeah,
you
If you
could.
have different wools. You literally are racing for the wool.
We could call it Sky Race Adventure Captain for the wool.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that one thing I was going to suggest, if we had it someplace like at spawn where we could have beds set up on top of the garage that everybody had to sleep in, where you could actually fire bows and arrows at each other and have to. We would fill chests near the beds with jetpacks that were fully fueled in advance as part of the game, and we might even have one person whose job it is to make sure that there are fresh jetpacks there or something.
That's not real hard to do.
Well, actually, wait. Maybe each team gets, let's say, 6 jetpacks in their chest there. But then, if they don't, if they're out of jetpacks, they have to then climb up something to rejoin the team.
Wow.
Or they have to run out to where the platform is and pillar up to it or something.
They'd be like, "Okay, guys, I'm gonna go 30 blocks that way. Come get me."
Well, I mean, if it's just around spawn, you could run anywhere around spawn. I mean, the actual race would only take 20 minutes probably.
I think you're overestimating us. I think it'll probably take longer. How long do you think it's going to be?
Shooting cannons at each.
Okay, I'm going to probably say no cannons would be a good idea.
Oh, water cannons, yes.
I'm gonna say that I think no cannons is a good idea. I do think that the Thaumcraft fire and lightning wands should be allowed. They're in the same class as bows and arrows.
I've not got Thaumcraft yet.
Well, the other thing is that they're actually shorter range than bows and arrows. So
yeah, so you could actually because you can actually move away from the people. You can.
Yeah, if somebody is coming toward your ship or trying to approach you directly, being able to hit them with a flamethrower is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not sure. Do a lot of the mods add long range weapons, or is it just the 2 wands and there's normal?
I don't think there's a whole. I think it's just normal bows and arrows, but then you can enchant the bows and arrows and to get longer stuff. So.
Yeah, I don't know if we would want to insist on like fairness for that.
Oh,
Well,
no,
for
no,
example,
no, no,
because
no,
if we were
no.
playing with some sort of I honestly think the more ludicrously uneven it gets, it's like Wacky Races. You know that old
Yes,
Hanna-Barbera
exactly.
cartoon?
Yes.
I
Like,
I
love that
think we should
cartoon.
have, like in the Sky Garage, we should have a whole range of things. And
Yeah, you have an enchanting table of potions because you can make potions to throw at people. You can have all kinds of different stuff.
oh yeah, if you
Yeah.
put dispensers on here, you could throw potions.
Right, and like you could throw the fire. What are those fireball thingies? I don't know what they're called.
the magma
But a fire
things.
charge.
Yeah.
Fire charge.
So how about this? How about I was gonna say maybe you could only bring each person could bring one inventory full of materials, or how would we do we or should we
Well,
just
I
not
got-
limit
what
it
you
at
could
all?
what you could do is you could say, okay, you have a certain amount of points to build your thing, and this is what each thing is worth. So like a stack of arrows is worth 10 points, and you get like something like 500 points to build your raft and your defenses.
Well, the problem with that though is that the sky bases or whatever could be so vastly different in configuration. Like one group might make a big platform like this, another group might make a sphere that just flies around, another group might make a flying spike.
I want to make the flying spike.
Well, that's what I'm saying though is you could have this thing. I don't think keeping track of points would keep it fun. Like if we're trying to.
She was talking about like
like the
just keeping
defenses, not the,
just
the
not the ship itself, just the defenses.
In terms of defenses or armor.
Like you can have 500 points and say a
You're just going to do it in
dispenser
bows
is
and arrows, or
yeah, say a dispenser's 100 points because it's really automated, yada yada yada. You know, but you can throw arrows in it, which are only 10 points a stack. So, you know, if you did it right, you could have a lot of arrows. So, by the way, that pillar over there is roughly 40 blocks away. If you can make this thing go that way, we can see how long it takes.
Yes.
yeah,
Let
you
me
want to
figure out how
we want to do
that.
it manually. If we do
Well,
it the way we
I was gonna ask about the manually thing because if we're doing ship to ship fighting, do we need it to be manual or anymore? Because now we all of a sudden have something for everybody to do.
I like the idea of like everybody on the ship dying and the ship stops.
Okay, yeah, see, I kind of like the idea that somebody has to be actively keeping the ship running, but it might be something like, unfortunately, you can't have them stand on a pressure plate because pressure plates don't, the reason they keep not resetting Cleo when we were trying to use those is because the game says, okay, a pressure plate was depressed at XYZ. I will undepress it in 1 second. But then in a second, when it goes to undepress it, the plate's gone. And it goes, well, whatever. It doesn't...
Well, that's why levers would be better then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but with the levers, you have to constantly be flipping them. So the person flipping the levers can't also be shooting necessarily, which...
I don't know. I kind of like if you think about the automated part, because let's say everybody does die, then your
ship might
just
keep
keeps
The ship just
going.
keeps.
Oh, that's actually kind of funnier because, yeah, it could crash. Well, here's the other thing, though, is if we've got jetpacks and stuff on our ship, we could be flying around. We could set our ship on autopilot in the direction we need to go and then fly around and start bow and arrow and the other people. Now, would we be
Yeah.
allowed to use picks or anything like mining lasers or anything like that?
I think something that's going to be destructive to the ship needs to be a no. Short of fire, because fire you can put out pretty quickly.
Well, what about this? I would say that weapons that are capable...
we're there.
Awesome.
Yoink.
I would say that weapons that are capable of destroying blocks must be mounted on the ship. So, for example, I could put, if I put block breakers mounted on the ship and started ramming the other people, that would be
that
a
would
lot
be cool.
different
That
than
would
that's
me
different.
flying up there with a pick.
Yeah, I'm actually good with that because that requires solar energy or whatever kind of energy you want to do or something along those lines. That would be awesome to watch too. Like you just start running into somebody and every second, could you start eating their ship?
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's one of those things, too, where they see our ship flying at their ship, and they're just like, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Quick, hit the left leather. Hit the left leather.
Left leather. Leather left. But, I mean, you could see, though, that this is moving quick enough that if we were also getting shot at, like, it would be interesting. And especially if you have an interest in stuff below you. I don't know. I think it could be neat. But we'd also be possibly, because each of the target towers would be at different elevations intentionally as we were moving the ship. Like, for example, Cleo, we wouldn't just have to go forward. We'd have to go diagonally. So we'd actually be taking turns alternating, left and right, or, sorry, like left and forward, or left forward up, Because, and if nobody's actually switching those over, then the ship will just start going too far in one of those directions and you'll lose time.
Oh, hey, look, you can stop it. Oop. No, I thought it did. It stopped for a second.
What were you trying to stop? If you
I was just trying to see. No, I didn't. No. You can block some of these by doing, like, putting a block somewhere instead of having just hit the lever, but I was just looking. Yeah, I like this. This is kind of nice. We're just kind of floating by.
Yeah, like, I like this, too, because I could do an entire video where I'm just, like, working on something, and I'm working on it while the whole ship moves.
The hardest part is like, oh crap, gotta go this way again. It's kind of like a typewriter. If you're standing still, you gotta stop, go back to the other side.
Well, and what I almost think we should do though is we should randomize the teams at the beginning of the thing, so that way nobody wants to like be like, okay, we're gonna practice building this exact design because you might not all be on the same team, and then that way you get more. We might even say that there's a 5-minute portion before you get access to the build materials. There's a 5-minute.
There's a planning portion.
Yeah, a planning portion. So we do an intro, we do the randomization of teams, and then we with explanation of the rules if there are any. Well, there are, I guess. So here I guess. Them up. Yeah, here's what I want to do. I want to propose that we set out a plot for the Sky Garage on the backside of the Wizard Tower Mountain. I think that would be the best place to spawn, because I can build some massive bays there.
What are we doing it in the mountain, or are you going to do it outside or above or somewhere?
I was going to extend them outward, like massive garages extended outward from the backside of the mountain, because they're tall. The mountain is high enough that we could do it, but also nobody lives over there right now, so it's not necessarily a terrible eyesore.
Right.
Well, that's what you need Mango there for, to make it pretty.
Yeah.
What, have you been looking at my stuff?
Maybe.
So. So, I figure I'm going to propose that we go ahead and we zone some of the backside of that mountain. I'm going to go ahead and set it up with maybe 3 bays, even though we only plan to use 2. And we can meet in the middle one. Yeah, we'll design it for expansion. How big do you think the bays should be? Because theoretically, the largest frame that you could move would be 100 by 100, except no, that would not include the parts to move it. So realistically,
I don't.
Well, it's got to get between.
What do you have now? 1, 2.
I mean,
three,
if you're going to build
6,
them
7,
that go between
8,
the Wizard's
9,
Tower, you've got to build it that it's going to be big enough to go between that valley. So.
Well, no. I was saying build it on the back wall of that mountain, facing away, not inside the valley, but on the backside.
Okay, that could work.
Do we want to? Does everybody want to teleport to the? Do you guys have books on you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's teleport real quick, and mine only takes me to my base, but I can.
Yeah,
fly
mine too.
over.
I'm flying over.
I'm in here. I really remind me later. I need to set up the Wizard Tower teleport place.
Yeah, we really need to get those crystal gates set up in there, especially since we're not using it for actual Thaumcraft magic, because it's so unstable. But yeah, wow, actually looking at this, I didn't realize how big this valley was. But no, I was thinking about doing it on the backside of the mountain, facing toward this snowy wilderness, because I can't imagine a lot of people wanting to set up their plots out here in the snow.
No. Well,
not this, because this is all mountain. This is all. This looks like
gravel.
Mostly stone, anyways.
Yeah. So, for example, like building it out right here.
Yeah. That could work.
But now, I guess the thing is, I don't want to make assumptions about the shapes of the craft.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
I'd say if each bay is probably maybe 50 by 50, is that too big?
Well,
no, that's the size of a regular plot, so that should
that's the size of a plot. I mean,
right, but I'm talking square, as in like tall as well.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're saying a 50 by 50 by 50 cube.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing about that is these things are literally massive. But I guess we need room
Room to
inside
maneuver.
we need room inside the base to test the engines, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to be able to move at least a few blocks in any direction. Maybe what if we made them 25 by 25 by 25?
That
because
seems
I
a
think-
little small.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
see, what
That's
I'm worrying
half a
about
plot.
is your ship out there, just going one way was like 13 across.
yeah, but the thing about it though is that you would be able to build stuff on the underside of it. You'd be able to build multiple tiers of frames.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have to be a big flat platform.
Right.
I would probably
Oh.
say
I
split the
think-
difference and do it sort of like 35 by 35.
Something
Slightly
like
bigger,
that.
but not like ridiculously massive.
Okay, so 335 by 35 bays would be about 100 blocks across, which is so if I started at Brendan's plot corner here and then went all the way over to the corner of Wes's, which is that's a big structure.
Yeah, but it's mostly hollow, so that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and you
just
can
trying to
you can
think,
always do a builder, and do it.
do those work safely now?
You're talking the fillers?
Yeah.
The builders.
No, the fillers. If it's a
The
cube,
filler
fillers.
is you can actually
you can do a hollow cube on a filler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not quite
yeah,
sure
that
what the dimensions are. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
that might be a good thing to make a video about.
And you can do what do you call it, landmarks, and the landmarks will
Okay.
decide how big it is.
The destruction part works perfectly. It just takes a lot of power to do the energy, but considering it's out here, it may just be easy to do some.
I could just run
like blue trick engines with some solar panels.
Well, with for if it's a filler, that's Buildcraft energy. But we've got tanks full of steam over in Energy Mountain there.
Okay, so just run the steam over.
Yeah, we would probably want some sort of electric power in the bays anyway. So I guess the question of how to not make them eyesores is going to be like if you just make a bunch of 35 by 35 by 35 cubes, those are pretty big cubes. Okay, this might be another dumb question, but should the front of them be open or the tops of them be open or
I would
both?
probably say like the front, like facing this way.
Yeah, that's what I was initially thinking, but maybe the
And
tops of them should be open too. I don't know.
If you do, I think if you do that, I think it's not
Because that's going to let
it can't be
sunlight
that
in.
hard. We can just okay.
I mean, it'd be a lot better. It'd be a more interesting recording environment, I think, to have ambient
The tops
light,
open.
to have
Yeah,
the tops open,
I would probably
or to have
say
them glass
tops.
at least.
Yeah.
So that way observers could even walk across the glass and look down. But I don't know. I just think it'd be more interesting to have the tops open.
All right, I'm good with that. It works.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me find. Does anybody have any signs on them? I'm gonna
Nope.
make some real quick.
I've got
Okay.
Yeah,
materials.
I don't tend to carry signs.
That's fine. It's fine that you
Fine.
lack signs.
Don't
I
do
can't
that.
use the signs.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That hurts. Don't, please.
Crikey, that's Australian, not
No,
British, so.
yeah. You can do that. I don't mind.
Boy, crikey, that's a large one.
Crikey, that's a big sign.
Okay, you know what? I can't see to type in this, or when my keyboard's all jacked up in here. Okay, so Mango, I'm gonna throw you the signs because I'm assuming that you don't have your keyboard at a weird angle where you can't type
It's
things.
under a glass desk, so no, I'm all right.
Okay, so here are 3 signs. If you want to put 35 x 35 x 35 bays.
All right. 35 bays. All right.
Okay. And then on the second sign, put 4 server event sky races or Skybase Adventure races. Skybase Adventure Captain races for the wool. Yeah, for server-wide Skybase Adventure Captain race for the wool.
So
Oh
this
my
is
God.
how long
Hang
can
on,
this
wait.
title be?
Skybase Adventure. We're gonna just
Captain.
totally do Captain
Races for the wool.
Yes.
Races. Can I get 4 on that line? Yes. Okay.
Use a number.
The wool. That almost filled up that sign. YouTube video. Nobody's
Okay.
gonna be able to read it. They're gonna be like, Skybase Adventure Cap. What is a cap? I don't know what a cap is.
Yeah.
All right, what about third one?
Okay, so what else do we need to vote on? I don't think we need to vote on the rules for the game because they're not like they're not the server rules. That's just
No.
us saying we're making a game.
Rules
and
is simply like
we'll work out the
Yeah.
exact rules later. I think we brainstormed enough that they could kind of get a sense of what we're trying to do, and then we can all argue about the actual rules later. The most important thing though is to start getting the base set up,
Yeah.
and things that we will need for this game will involve we'll need a ton of red power frames. We're gonna need a bunch of barrels, a bunch of chests. We'll need
Engines themselves.
Yeah, we'll need the frame motors. It'll be up to the individual team to decide how they want to power their motors. Because, like, I use solar panels for mine, but you could just as easily set up some sort of battery switch or...
Yeah, see, like mine, like my base with my power that I've got now, I could just as easily make a bunch of batteries and fill up some battery boxes or something like that.
Yeah, one way that we could even do it would be to have, limited battery power as part of the rules, or like, or you have to pick up batteries at certain drop points along the way, or I don't know. We'd have to figure that out.
Yeah, we have to figure out the rules basically, but
I think it's fun. We've got a good core concept here. Can anybody else think of anything that we would have to vote on today though, or have to propose to the server?
Positions of the sky. Well, not positions of the sky towers. That it's okay to actually put sky towers up there for the duration of the game, because they're going to be.
Oh, we're gonna. Okay, so actually, let's walk through that real quick. So we've got, if we want to do, we come out here. I think you probably make the first sky tower about 30 or 40 blocks out.
Yeah.
Just to get everybody out of their bases. So what, somewhere.
And we
right
might
around
even
here.
Well, I might even say we put one diagonally out this way and one diagonally out this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that the finish line would be... Would we want to have a finish line that is distinct from the bays? Or
I think the finish line should totally be like, you need to be able to maneuver into this right here. Oh, there goes
into
my
what
jetpack.
way?
Ah!
What you mean?
Do you mean this hole here, Mango?
You mean
No, I'm talking like right here.
Where are you?
I'm sorry.
I was thinking through here because nobody's really used it. Oh no, is that a? Oh, that's a Twilight portal.
Yeah, the
it
old
doesn't
Twilight
work
Forest
anymore.
portal.
No, I'm talking like the finish line can be like coming through the original area.
Oh, or the finish line could be like in this. The finish line could just be
The tree.
using a landmark or something in this valley. Yeah, the tree is the finish line.
Ooh.
You
Right.
have to come toward the tree from some particular direction.
I suggest landing next to the tree, because that way you have to show
once
your
you've
skill.
got all of them.
You have to dock at the tree, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could put docks 1, 2, 3. You could put
And so the
like
thing
3
is,
levels on there.
yeah. And now here's the thing about the towers for the game, the scoring towers. They would just be like 10 blocks, and they'd be really easy removal. So I don't think that we would need. We're not building permanent fixtures, you know. I don't think that we would need to necessarily vote on
Yeah.
that.
I don't know. I think we could.
but-
I think it would be interesting to let the plot owners. All you need to do is be like, okay, so it needs to be 100 blocks high or whatever it is, and you need to have the wool spaced out by this much, this much, this much on a tower, yada yada yada. But let them build their own their own thing, so it's kind of a piece of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Historical
I do-
landmark.
Well, okay. I guess I wasn't saying that we shouldn't do anything on people's individual plots without permission, but I don't think that that's a voting matter. I think that's a personal sovereignty matter where we say anybody who wants to participate in the game should put blocks up on their plot in this configuration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
I
part of the
gotcha, I
rules of the
gotcha.
game, not part of the rules of the server.
Okay.
I gotcha.
And what I'm saying is though, if we had a finish line in this public space here that was made out of wool or something like that, if it's
Yeah,
only for
what
the
you want?
duration of the game,
Black
it
and
wouldn't
white
be
wall.
something
I've
we
got
had to-
plenty of that. Black and white wall.
Yeah, well, honestly, I kind of like the idea that you have to dock on top of the tree or something.
Yeah. Refilling my jetpack.
Now, the hard part, I think the hardest part about designing the actual rules for this will be making sure that it's not obvious who's winning at all times. Because, no, seriously, like, if it was a straight line race with these frame motors, it would be really obvious, like, if you're going
Yeah.
from point A to point B,
Well, that's
okay,
what
we're
you're
ahead,
doing.
and we're going to stay
What
ahead forever.
What I would suggest is, oh no, that's what you need to do is you need to separate them at some point, don't you? So you need to have towers.
Wait, what if actually, how about this for rules though? On the way to make PvP make sense or to really matter or what have you, is that essentially if all 3 people on our tower are killed or whatever, okay, technically anybody from any team can flip any switches or can toggle redstone.
Right.
So if the other team's tower, so I could fly over to the other team's tower and keep turning it off if they're not there.
Okay, but you have to put in you can't destroy the configuration. That just becomes if we do it by switch, like we make it a rule that to make the thing move, it has to be a lever or a button.
Yeah.
You can't destroy it. You can go over and you can just, if you could sneak in past the bows and arrows, you go flick and you run like hell.
Yeah, and I would say, like, for example, let's say that Doc Redstone wanted to use a computer craft thing to steer the whole ship, right?
Right.
Where he just issues commands and it starts moving. It would still, a requirement as a rule of the game would be there has to be a switch connected to that I could flick to turn it off from the other team.
Right, somewhere like after the computer, there's a junction that you can go flick and turn it off.
There has to be a switch. So yeah, you can't just abandon the thing. But otherwise, I mean, there might be a whole bunch of running around and flying and shooting. But okay, my lunch break's actually starting to come to a close. Does anybody else have any final points?
No, I
'Cause
think
gotta get back to
we've
work.
covered everything for now, and we can always
I think this
pick
is
it
a
up later.
wonderful.
And just to be entirely clear, all 3 of us are voting yes on installing 35 by 35 by 35 bays on the backside of that mountain.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to get this encoding and hopefully get it posted later this afternoon so that we can get Wes, Brendan, and everybody else to vote on it. So
Yay.
I will catch you guys later. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee.
Keep adventuring.
Keep Skybase Captain Adventure Series racing. What is it? Skybase Adventure Captaining? Yeah.
Yeah,
Captaining.
that's
I
it.
like
Capt
Captaining.
Adventuring.
Captiventuring?
Yeah, it's like captive adventuring.
That sounds creepy.
We could
my
even
video too. Later,
we could.
Mangolians.
Oh no! I just thought of something.
Okay.
Incredible. Don't stop
I'm
your
still-
video yet.
Okay, I'm still
How
recording.
about both teams have to start with both ships have to have a jail cell on them, and so each team of 3 starts with one of their team members on the other person's ship.
Oh.
Okay, and so you benefit from going to free your person, but that person is also on your TeamSpeak channel and
Telling you
can
what's
see what
going
they're
on.
doing. Yeah.
So you make so the rule for that would have to be something like the 3x3. Oh, creeper, run! The rule for that would be something like the cage can't be surrounded by anything but like glass, and it's in the middle of the ship.
Well,
If you're gonna have a prisoner, that prisoner needs to be able to see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's no fun for that person. I wouldn't say it has to be in the middle of the ship, but like, or maybe something like that person, if they... I wish we could do location-based audio, where like, if we were in-game close enough to overhear people, we could actually overhear people. But I don't think there's a good way to do that. We'd have to mod the server, I think.
Yeah, I think you'd have to mod the server. I know, like, the Mindcrack pack has got ones that you can see, like, text bubbles over people when they talk.
But we're all going to be on the
Direwolf, right.
TeamSpeak. Well, no, we're on the TeamSpeak to talk. We're going to be using
we could
voice
always,
chat.
we could always install that, but since we're not using text speak, it's going to be,
Yeah, that's not worthwhile. I don't know. That might be... This idea might only work if we could get the audio happening, so maybe that's something for Adventure Race 2, Sky Captain Dose. I don't know.
Sky Captain Dose.
I like your theta there. You're clearly from Spain itself. That Iberian Peninsula in your voice is just showing straight through.
Wow.
Okay, now keep adventuring.
Later,
Bye.
Mangolians.
Bye, guys.